My name is Raven, professional wrestling superstar, former world heavyweight champion, and I want you to choose your four.
This is the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer, and I want you to choose your four.
Hello, Pro Wrestling Rushmore. This is Lanny Poffo, formerly the genius of WWE.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley. Yes, it is, and I want you to choose your four. It's Pro Wrestling Rushmore.
It's Pro Wrestling's Rushmore.
This is Pro Wrestling Rushmore. Quote the Raven, nevermore.
Hello, humanoids! This is Ian from Squared Circle History, and I want you to choose your four! It's Pro Wrestling Rushmore. Welcome to the only podcast that lets you, the viewers, vote on who winds up on our Mount Rushmore of a given topic every episode. Joining me this week is the always opinionated but never duplicated Brian.
Ian, what's up, man?
Oh my god, it's been so long!
This is a nice surprise, isn't
Hey,
it?
Brian, how you been? How your family?
How you
How's
doing?
everybody doing? How's your Christmas?
It was alright, yours?
It was quiet. It was very quiet. As you can see, the lovely and talented Sarah is not here because she's quarantining.
She's quarantining.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
boy.
yeah, you know how that is. It's a crazy world out there right now.
She doesn't have it, though, right? She's just...
No, she doesn't have it.
Out of
No, she just
precaution.
came in contact. She was holiday decorating with people that did end up having it.
So she probably got it from somebody's balls.
Oh no, that's awful.
Well, you know, the ornaments.
Oh, the
Where's your head?
man, I feel like we need to extend this beginning portion of the show, especially since we've had such an extended break.
Well, yeah, it's a nice surprise. I mean, I wasn't expecting
It
to
is.
be here.
I don't know when this is gonna be edited, so it could either be the last podcast of ours of 2020 or the first of 2021. Look at us, we're on the ball here.
Yeah, I mean...
Maybe.
We'll see what happens. Hopefully there's not too much editing you need to do.
No, and even if there is,
Keep it in there.
what else have I been editing lately?
Well-
Oh, that's right. I think I might have told you about this. I'm working on my 1997 WWF video part 2. I was an hour into editing it, and I was working on 2 files at the same time, and I accidentally saved 1 file over my 1997 part 2 file. So now it's
You have to
back
redo
from
the whole
start. Yeah.
So that's a part 2 to what you already have out there?
Yeah, I already have 1997 part 1, which is, I think it's like an hour and a half. Part 2, it's 2 hours.
God damn!
I know, there's a lot of information to go through.
So what do you have, from June on?
It's not even from June on, it's whatever stories I felt like could be wrapped up in the first half. Not even the first half of the year, just a first half.
Right, no, I get it.
So a lot of the stuff in part 2 is
So you're not going by month. You're just going by
No.
storyline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
by
gotcha.
storyline. But at this point, when this is done, I'm moving on to Jim Crockett Promotions. I need a break from WWF.
Oh, no.
I've seen it so freaking much now that I need a break. I need to move on to another company. So I'm
Is
gonna
there-
start my Jim Crockett video series.
Is that much of a demand for Jim Crockett, though?
Well, maybe in the grand scheme of things, there might be, because you're gonna find out all the origins of the Four Horsemen, the debut of Arn Anderson, the debut of the Road Warriors, Dusty Rhodes' rise to prominence and his decline.
That's the Daddy Rabbit on Anderson.
Yes, the Daddy Rabbit Arn Anderson. Holy cow, it's been so long. And holy cow, Brian, are you wearing a wrestling shirt today?
Nope, I am not. And I'm
Wow.
going to tell you why.
Let's hear it.
Because, alright, well, you called me about an hour ago and asked me if I want to rip out a podcast, and I was like, sure. But I was out, and I didn't want to go in the house and put a wrestling shirt on, because, you can't wear a wrestling shirt every day.
Says you.
What do you mean?
Says you. I probably have enough wrestling shirts in my closet right now that I could at least go through. I'm going to stand firmly on a third of the year. Every single day I could wear a wrestling shirt.
That's insane. I know you have one on now. What is that?
I have on, it's from Too Sweet Merch. It's a Bam Bam Bigelow triple threat shirt.
That's a nice shirt.
I know. I thought this was awesome.
It is. It's pretty
And
badass.
it's even got the triple threat logo on the sleeve.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to show me an elbow pad. I was like, why are you wearing elbow pads?
Yeah, because of the triple threat elbow pad. So yes, like I said, Sarah is not here reading the lists this week. So we're going to kind of, this is kind of like Pro Wrestling Rushmore Unplugged or without Sarah this week.
Alright, well, we'll have
But
to...
she's doing well. Everything's fine. Everything's good. Don't worry about it. There was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, hey, how about all of these shout-outs that we've gotten from wrestlers lately?
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
We got a great surprise from Leaping Lanny Poffo.
The genius.
The genius. Yes, hello. I am the genius. So we got that. We got a nice one from Tommy Dreamer, who called those out by name. And we got one from the hardcore legend himself, Mick Foley.
Yes, sir.
That was pretty cool. I definitely
Good old Saint Nick.
yeah, Saint Mick.
Saint
yes.
Nick. Saint Mick.
Saint Mick surprised us with that awesome intro, and we can't forget our original supporter in Raven. So, you're gonna be hearing from everybody throughout the course of this, and we might as well address this right now. Obviously, the podcast is not going to be weekly anymore. The podcast is going to be whenever we get a chance.
Pretty much. It's these days it's tough to get together, and we experimented with phone, but it sounds like shit, and we don't want that because, I listen to it too. Like I don't want to listen to someone over the phone, and the audio just isn't there.
No, we're not going to compromise.
Nope.
You can't settle. You can't settle in life, and you can't settle on the production of your podcast.
We're essential at least once a month.
At least. And if it's not once a month, well, whatever. We'll make it work. So, with all that said, let's begin production. Let's begin construction on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling title belts.
When you say the construction of wrestling, the Rushmore,
Yeah.
you should have like shit like
a jackhammer?
jackhammer sound.
I think you just took care of the
There you go.
jackhammer sound.
Nice.
So, first list. Pat R. the Superstar. He gives us the WWF Winged Eagle Championship, the NWA/WCW World Heavyweight Championship, the ECW 1997 World Heavyweight Championship, and the 80s/90s WWF World Tag Team Championship. Do you think that is going to be the Mount Rushmore at the end of the show, Brian?
Winged Eagle, I think so. Probably definitely there. I don't know. I haven't seen these lists, but I think the Winged Eagle is definitely there. The ECW one, probably not. I think I want to see a lot of WCW, maybe NWA, WWE titles on there.
Yeah.
I do love those tag team titles, though.
The
80s,
WWF
yeah,
ones?
Is that the one that he mentioned? Those are badass, man.
Yeah, I think those are the quintessential tag team title belts. I mean, especially nowadays, you've got the Trojan Soldiers back to back for the WWE tag
I don't
team
like
titles.
that.
No, it's not the
Stupid.
same. Not the same at all.
Why not have those, the ones that he mentioned there, the 80s ones?
Yeah.
One with a red strap and one with a blue strap.
Hey, that works.
That would look pretty sweet, I think.
That would look really cool. You might have solved the problem right there. How about that? So you said that you felt like the Winged Eagle was going to be there at the end.
I do.
Why?
Because of who held it.
Okay, so do you think these are going to more so be lists of who held the titles?
Not necessarily, but I think some people will do that.
Okay.
And so, that's synonymous with Hogan, right? When you think
Yeah.
Winged Eagle belts,
Yeah,
I think
so.
Hogan. I don't
Yeah.
think Stone Cold, because he changed it. Did he
The
even
night
have
after.
that one? The night after. There
The
you go.
night after.
So
yeah.
the night after Stone Cold won it, that belt was changed.
Yeah.
I don't think Shawn Michaels. I definitely don't think Bret Hart.
No.
I don't think much of Bret Hart.
You don't say.
Brian hates Brett. Brian hates Brett. Brian hates Brett. Brian hates Brett.
No, I'm not gonna get into that.
He held the version of that 5 times.
He held a virgin.
The version.
Oh.
The version of that title. So he held the Winged Eagle 5 times.
I still think Hogan over Bret Hart.
Yeah, wow. I'm trying to think. So Hogan... Alright, so that belt debuted February 5th, 1988, the main event.
Ah, dude, you know the date?
I knew you were going to say
Sick
that.
bastard.
It was Hogan and Andre. It was the double referee, Earl and Dave Hebner. It was one of the biggest shows they ever put on.
No, I agree, and I remember that was actually like a favorite storyline of mine with a double referee. Cause I've never seen anything like that, right?
The best they ever had.
I was locked in the closet. He locked me in the closet.
Tell me how much you paid for the plastic surgery, dude. Like $1 Million Man. I was like, everybody has a price, and what's your price? To change your face.
Like he went out and he's like, Danny Davis, you look like Earl Hebner. Come here, I'm gonna change you into Earl Hebner. I'm gonna pay for this.
Danny Davis was like, sure, why not?
Why not? I'll do it.
But, all right, so the Winged Eagle title was designed by Reggie Parks. Have you ever heard of Reggie Parks?
I have not.
He was an old Canadian wrestler, and he was trained by Stu Hart.
All right.
And he designed, I believe, the tag team title as well. He designed, those 3 designs right there, those classic designs, the Winged Eagle, the Intercontinental, and the tag team right there. So after his wrestling career ended, he became a belt maker, and he really became like the main belt maker for wrestling. And one day, I want to say it was WrestleMania 9, Bret Hart had brought his parents to WrestleMania, and Stu... Now, I think you've heard this story. Stu's sitting in the hotel room, the phone rings. I think it was Bret that answered the phone, hands it to Stu. Stu's on the phone with Reg Parks. He's talking to Reg Parks. He's like, hey, Reg, remember the days back in Calgary? Reg. Anyway, so on the other line, Reg is actually Owen, pretending to be Reg.
So he wants to kick his ass.
He's saying, hey, I think I can kick your ass, Stu. And Stu's like, hey, you salty bastard, you want to try me? Yeah, meet me down in the lobby. And what ended up happening in the end is Stu slammed down the phone. He said, yeah, that Owen bastard.
So he knew it was Owen at the end.
At the end, he knew it was Owen, yeah. So, so Reg Parks, that affiliation with the Hart family. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty funny story.
So Stu wanted to fight Rosie Parks.
Rosie Parks. Yeah, they were going to fight on the back of the bus. Alright, so next we have Shep from Shepland. He has the Winged Eagle once again. He has the original NXT Championship. He has the WWF Hardcore Championship. And he also has a vote for the 80s and 90s WWF Tag Team Championship. So let's talk about that NXT Championship. Just that big NXT right there in metal, right there in gold.
I think I think kids just like the look of that thing.
Yeah.
Because my son, I took him to an NXT show.
Oh, yeah? I wasn't with you, but I was also there.
Yeah, I went with Pat.
You went with Pat, but I was there with my dad and my brothers, and my younger brother also bought that title.
Right. Oh, did he?
Yeah. Well, I think I bought it, but
my kid was asking me for that title. He was bugging me so bad. He's high maintenance. He wants the real one.
Okay.
I'm not gonna drop $400 on an NXT title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, but kids do like it. It's cool, I guess. I don't know. Not for me so much. It's too much.
It's strange, and it's a lot like, and we're not gonna get to the. All right, so it reminds me a lot of the UWF title. The UWF, like the Mid-South era, when they went national, it was UWF. It was Bill Watts' territory, and that title was kind of replicated when Ring of Honor first came around, because the Ring of Honor title looks a lot like the UWF title. It's just like this big plate with just a simple ROH in the middle, and maybe just some designs around it. But then you got this NXT title, and you take out all those designs, and it's just the freaking logo of the company. Right. And even WWE's doing it too. Like, WWE's title right now is just, just the logo and just like a little border around it. I don't like it.
I don't mind. I like simple. I don't like busy on titles.
Yeah.
But it's just to have the letters without anything around it, right? NXT, it's just got NXT.
That's it.
With the cutouts of the letters, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And then the side plates are just like WWE logos.
Right.
I don't like it. I don't think that looks like a championship. It doesn't look like a trophy. It doesn't look like a prize. It just looks like just a makeshift craft day.
Yes.
With your cricket.
That's kind of a good analogy.
Like that's... I just don't like it.
Like Metal Fab Project.
Yeah, even well, I think UFC has kind of changed their titles around a little bit now, but they used to have that where it was just the big UFC, but even they still had the steel cage in the background.
Right.
Screw that. WWE's like, no, we just want a logo. We just want the logo on there. That's it.
But I like the WWE logo, like on their world titles. I don't mind those. But I think you need a plate, a big ass plate, to signify a champion. You know what I mean?
All right, let's just get to it right now. What makes a championship belt? What makes a good championship belt design? What do you need?
A design.
What are the essentials? Well, you just said it. You need something big in the middle, a center plate, because obviously, if you're wearing this belt, who even said, like, a belt? Okay, wrestling, here it is. Whoever the winner is, he gets a belt.
It's a major award.
It's a major award. Why doesn't he carry a leg lamp to the ring? Why doesn't he carry a hubcap to the ring? Why is it a belt? Why couldn't it be a necklace or, like, a hat? What did the Vikings fight over?
Well, I think because, boxing, was boxing around before wrestling? I think so.
Yeah.
All right, and that's what they had. They had belts. So
all right, then we'll pose the question to boxing then.
No,
why? Why is it a belt?
Because if you're gonna have someone as your champion, that's your top guy. You want to show off who the top guy is.
Why doesn't your top guy wear a top hat? It's his own design top hat.
I don't know.
Abraham Lincoln was a wrestler, and he wore a top hat. Maybe he was a wrestling champion with a top hat that was, gold encrusted and had, like, a design of a long beard on it.
Maybe they want something like they can wear around their waist.
But why?
We
Why around their waist, though? Think of the Olympics. The Olympics were around even before that, and they wore medals around their neck. Why isn't it a medal around the neck?
You want to wear, like, ankle bracelets?
No, that's too far down the body.
I don't know. Because the belt is big. Maybe, like, the lower champion can wear a medal.
Okay.
But, and that's why they came out with the lower titles.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, so you're getting off track.
It's a weird history, yeah.
If you want to know what makes the belt...
Yeah, alright, that's it. That's right. I'm glad you're bringing me on track here.
For your world champion, for your top guy, you need the bigger plate. You need a big plate.
Okay.
Leather strap.
Yes.
Diamonds, rubies, all that kind of shit. You need...
okay.
You need, no, not the straps, like the Velcro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
A lot of the belts now are Velcro.
They have Velcro, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that.
I don't like that either. It
Get
needs
the
to be
buttons.
prestigious.
Yes. And then, like, maybe for your Intercontinental title, you just have, like, something silver. So you go down the ranks. Go gold, silver.
But even, okay, alright, so even you say that. You say, for a second title, Intercontinental. So every secondary title. Do you feel... The main title is the world title, so next step down, would that encompass, say, 2 continents, like the Intercontinental title? Or 1, like the United States title? Well, honestly, United States title doesn't even cover the whole continent. It just covers the United States. It just covers the country.
And I love that title.
The United States title?
The new one? Yeah.
The new one, yes. The new one is probably the nicest U.S. belt
ever. But you sent me a picture with the blue in the background, right?
Yes.
And that brought it out so much
Makes
more.
a huge difference.
Maybe, like, put that into the pictures so people
alright,
maybe
sure.
someone didn't see that, you know what I mean? They didn't see what I'm talking about. Because I think with that blue in the background, it makes it look so much better.
Yep.
But even though it's, like, really nice now, and that is one of my favorite ones, I'm not going to lie. That design's pretty sweet. Even
it's
though
awesome.
It's new and current. But, no FTW title in my list or anything like that.
So why don't you like the FTW title? It's here.
It's not a real title.
Okay,
it's a made-up title. I thought Pat was going to put that on there to piss me off.
I thought he was, too. I really thought he was, too. I'm shocked he didn't. But yeah, alright, so you don't like wrestlers making up their own titles?
$1 Million Championship, it was made up. It wasn't a real title. You know what I mean? That was given to pacify him. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't even think it's a cool title.
The FTW title or the $1 million?
Either one.
Okay.
But, like, the $1 million title is cool because it fits him. Yeah. Like, that belt definitely fits the $1 Million Man.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Even though it's ugly as hell, You know, it's made up. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
FTW title, same deal. So, like, you know, what, they give this guy a fake title to shut him up because he's a big bitch. And he wants to act like a tough guy.
Who, Taz or Ted DiBiase?
Taz. That's what he does, man. Like, he has, like, a badass. It's funny because he'll go on AEW, and I know it's wrestling, I know it's scripted. He goes on, he's on a mic, and he's a badass talking about his Brian Cage and, you know, the other two schmucks he has there. I don't even know their names.
I know he's got Ricky Starks.
Ricky Steamboat, him.
Ricky
like,
oh, and he's got another guy now, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Mac. No.
Mac.
So. Oh, Will
Mac.
Hobbs. Will Hobbs. I was thinking of Will Mac. Or is it Willie Mac?
Is he?
Justin Black?
TNA?
Black? Yeah, I think he's an Impact.
Alright. So it's Willie Hobbs?
Will Hobbs is the guy with Taz.
This new one.
Yeah.
So he goes out there and he's, you know, thinks he's a badass, and he's gonna talk about putting people in the kata hachime, and you know, I'm a badass brother. But then he gets on the mic to, like, you know, do the announcing. He's like, nothing. He's not a badass anymore.
So all bark and no bite.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe he's got Jim Ross there to wrangle him in.
Well, maybe. Maybe. Jim Ross is a big fan of those leg slaps.
No, he loves leg
slaps.
slaps.
Leg slap class. All right, so let's move on here. So
he also likes
let's hear it.
The suicida.
Suicida dive.
What do you call it? What's his face call it? The guy with the mask.
Guy with the mask.
The commentator.
Excalibur.
Him.
Yeah.
What is it? Something suicida.
Oh, Tope Suicida?
Tope Suicida.
Yeah.
Jim Ross loves that.
He's like, oh, yeah, we're gonna get technical here. Oh, listen to this guy over here. This guy knows what he's talking about. Oh, maybe you should just turn my mic off. Just let Excalibur commentate all night. I'll just sit here and watch some wrestling. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right, so we got Mike the Wolverine here. He gives us the Winged Eagle, the NWA WCW World Heavyweight Championship, which is also called the Big Gold.
All right, cool.
The Big Gold.
Let's call it Big Gold.
All right, we're going to call it Big Gold from now on.
Because, all right, yeah, so go ahead. We'll finish the list.
All right.
Ask your question.
He also has the original Ring of Honor World Championship, which we just talked about, and the original TNA X Division Championship.
Nope. So, let me ask you a question about the WCW NWA title.
Yes, the Big Gold.
They had 2 world titles, didn't they?
Well, all right. So, NWA, up to a certain point, before they went global, NWA had a different championship that they called it the Domed Globe.
That's what they called it.
Yeah, and
that was their world champion.
It was their world championship. It looked more like a license plate than like a world title. But then once that's
the one that Rick Rude held, didn't he?
No. So Rick Rude had the Big Gold.
Okay.
The Big Gold came around. I want to say it was 1986. And Ric Flair got it, and supposedly the Crockett spent $40,000 on this thing, and it's a great belt. It's a gorgeous belt, okay? But what ended up happening was NWA got bought out, or Jim Crockett Promotions got bought out by Ted Turner. Ted Turner turned his territory into World Championship Wrestling, which became, the global company. Kept that championship. But once Ric Flair went over to WWF, Ric Flair took the belt with him to WWF. In turn, WCW had to create a new title. And that was the title that you saw, like Sting, Ron Simmons, Vader. They had that for a little while. When Ric Flair came back, he brought the Big Gold back with him. So that's when you had 2 WCW World Championships.
All right.
You had the regular WCW World Heavyweight Championship, which was the new version of the belt. Right. Then you had what they called the WCW International Championship, which was the Big Gold. Rick Rude had it. Masahiro Chono had it. And then they ended up unifying the belts. It was Ric Flair and Rick Rude. Ric Flair won. Oh, no, actually, I'm sorry. Sting beat Rick Rude before the match happened. Then there ended up being Sting versus Ric Flair. And Ric Flair won. And then the Big Gold, that was the belt.
Gotcha.
Then WWE brought it back. The World Heavyweight Championship.
Right. They just handed it to Triple H.
The Eric Bischoff Raw era. And yes, that was an error of them to just hand over a championship. Come on.
I feel like I should be like sitting on the floor, Indian style, under the learning tree.
Native American style.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah.
We don't want to offend Tatanka.
Sitting on the learning tree as you're just spewing off at the mouth about all this, these championship titles and giving me the, you're educating me, Ian.
It's not my intention to educate you or anybody else. I just want to bring people up to speed and bring context into.
No, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's pretty cool because, like.
Well, I mean,
I always wondered about that, and I just never really looked into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
what's funny? I thought it was before that. I thought it was before Flair went to the WWF.
Yeah.
So my timing was off. It all makes sense now.
I was watching a match the other day. It was Johnny Valentine against.
All right.
It was Wild Bill Curry. It was this. He was all right. So Johnny Valentine, of course, Greg Valentine's dad. He died in the plane crash that Ric Flair was in.
Yep.
He was fighting Wild Bill Curry. Wild Bill Curry was it was a much shorter guy. Wasn't 6 feet tall. He his whole gimmick, because this was the late '60s. He had black tights, black boots, no knee pads, no elbow pads. His gimmick was he had bushy eyebrows. Just had giant bushy eyebrows. But dude, I am telling you, I've heard stories about Wild Bill Curry from listening to Jim Cornette's podcast. Yeah. And this was the first time I'd ever seen a match of his. And let me tell you, if he was around in the 80s or even the Attitude Era, that's your guy right there.
Really?
He was just this scrappy little dude with these giant eyebrows. And he was hairy as hell, man, and just looked like a science teacher. But, he would just start clobbering at you. Look like Ralphie on Scott Farkas in A Christmas Story. Just clobbering on you. And he was an interesting dude. I don't know how we get on that topic. We're talking about championship belts here.
And I'm guessing Wild Bill Irwin never got
Curry.
a title. Him, yeah. He never got a title, so...
No, not that I know of. So,
you know who did get a title?
Who
Ronnie Garvin.
Ronnie Garvin!
Yuck.
Oh, man. Since we're talking about the big gold, Ronnie Garvin had the big gold for at least a month.
He sucked.
Yeah, Ron Garvin.
How boring was Ronnie Garvin?
Yeah, no,
Can you imagine, hanging out with Ronnie Garvin, just getting a drink or whatever?
I want to tell you about this drink here. This a Coca-Cola.
Imagine, he'd probably have, his powder blue referee shirt on, with slacks, and shin guard over the slacks.
How is it possible that his brother is gorgeous Jimmy Garvin?
That's his brother.
And only one of them has an accent.
That's his brother?
Yeah.
No shit.
Isn't that weird?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How awesome was Jimmy Garvin, though?
Jimmy Garvin was awesome, man.
Compared to Ronnie.
Yeah, compared to Ronnie, he was nothing.
Imagine Ronnie Garvin.
It's not my fault. Yeah, man. Man.
What if Ronnie
Garvin... Imagine all of Jimmy Garvin's friends, man, your brother's lame,
yeah,
man.
That's definitely
he's just driving around in a broken down pickup truck, and
yeah.
Here's Jimmy Garvin.
In a Camaro.
Yeah.
Ripping lines off the hood.
You know
what I mean? Man. Ronnie Garvin's in his Pinto.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, Jimmy, you shouldn't be doing that.
Don't be putting that dust up your nose. Jimmy Garvin's like, I don't know why he's got this accent.
Only one of them wears a fanny pack because Jimmy Garvin's cool.
Wait, so who wears the fanny pack?
Jimmy Garvin, because he's badass.
Okay.
Ronnie Garvin doesn't have a fanny pack because he's lean.
Yeah, what is he going to put in there?
All right. Never wear no Zubaz.
Sunflower seeds. That's what he would put in there. That's about it.
No, his drag outfit.
His drag... Oh! Miss Atlanta Lively. Yeah, man. Wow. Ron Garvin apparently loved to dress and drag way too much.
Loved it.
Yikes.
All right, let's get off Ronnie Garvin.
All right. So, did you have any comments about, say, the Ring of Honor title or the X Division title?
I don't like the X Division title.
No.
No.
That's another one where just a big X.
It's just X.
Yeah.
X. What's cool? What's cool about that title? X.
What's causing all this? 10 pounds of gold.
10 pounds of X.
Now, the next person who is submitting a list is somebody who we're going to have to talk about in greater detail after I read his list.
All
but
right.
It's Bobby on the Beat. And his 4 choices are the Winged Eagle, the 80s, 90s Intercontinental Championship, the 80s, 90s Tag Team Championship, and the Big Gold. So, Bobby on the beat here. We've been having this ongoing storyline since the beginning of the show, I think. Sort of a rivalry between Bobby and Mikey from the streets. And the whole goal is to see who is going to get more lists correct. Say by the end of the year. So here we are. Whether it be at the end of the year or the beginning of the year. I'm going to guess the beginning of the year.
We're still in 2020 right now.
While we're recording,
2020,
yes.
Ew.
Yes, 2020 has been awful. Ugh, what a terrible year. So here we are at the end here. We're 13 episodes in. And the first 12 episodes, I went back and I kind of tallied the votes on, who got it right, who nailed it. So here we go. I'm going to give you the Mount Rushmore of people who nailed it in the first 12 episodes of our first year of Pro Wrestling Rushmore. Now I'm going to tell you, the first name I'm going to tell you is at the bottom. Meaning, honestly, he only got one of them right, and there were tons of people who got one of them right, but if I had to pick somebody for this situation, it's going to be Mikey from the streets, because he only got one right. He got one right. Okay.
And that's who you're choosing to put on the Mount Rushmore.
Well, yeah, because
is that a pity pick?
It is a pity pick.
Oh, Mikey.
I'm sorry, Mikey, but it's a pity pick, and I honestly I haven't looked ahead to see who he picked for this list. I don't know who he picked for this list. I hope he gets it right this time around, and I hope he has a better 2021, because his 2020 picks were not very good. I'm sorry.
Keep dogging him.
I'm not dogging him. I'm just saying, as far as getting them right in the grand scheme of things, not a good record.
Because he wanted to beat Bobby so bad.
He wanted to beat Bobby so bad,
but Bobby beat him so bad.
He did not. Well, no spoilers, but yeah. And then so the next two people, because they tied, so they got two lists correct each time. So we got Pat R, the Superstar, and we got Yankees 1989, one of our favorites.
Yankees 99. You.
And then, number 1, 5 lists correct. Bobby on the beat.
There you go.
Beat the hell out of Mike this year. So maybe
5-1.
Maybe we'll all have a better year next year. Maybe we'll have enough lists so that Mike has more opportunities to catch up to Bobby. But hey, we'll see.
You got some work to do, Mikey.
We'll see. But I'm just looking.
It's a new year. We're gonna start fresh. New season.
It's a new year, Shane Douglas.
Everyone's 0-0. Everyone's in first place.
Yeah,
let's go.
There you go.
Start it off,
if you're not first, you're last.
That's right. But here's the thing. I need to emphasize this too, because we're not doing this to get the lists correct at the end. We're doing this for fun. We're doing this to see who truly your favorite titles are, or who your favorite subject at the time is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever that may be, the subject.
And I wouldn't even have thought about adding those lists up,
right?
If it wasn't for Bobby saying,
right? If it wasn't for their rivalry,
yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that Bobby knew, like, a lot of times he'd submit lists knowing, like, this is it. Like, this is the list. Right. Hey, he's educated, as Arn Anderson would say, he's a consummate professional. But I'm taking a look at his list here, and it really is, like, the main titles from the late 80s and 90s, like WWF, and then the Big Gold. Right. What do you think? You think those are the main titles right there?
I think Bobby went with what he thinks is going to be there at the end.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I'm hoping those are his favorites.
Yep.
But at the same time, if I had to pick both that are going to be at the end, I'd pick those.
Yeah, alright.
Even though they're not all necessarily on my list. Okay. But, like, if I had to say to myself, which 4 are going to be there at the end, that would probably be my exact list.
Alright. Wow.
And I mean,
we're going to get your list later.
The IC title's cool. The original.
The original IC title. One. The Mr. Alright, so that was
it's not the original one, Pat Patterson.
No, but it's definitely timely right now. Here we are at the end of the year. We've lost Pat Patterson among so many other great wrestlers. But the Intercontinental.
How about Luke Harper?
Oh God, don't even get me started, man. Brody Lee, man. Ugh, gutted about that. Gutted. That's been one of my favorite wrestlers now for years.
Sad,
just of the modern era, like
former Intercontinental Champion.
Former Intercontinental Champion, and in fact, he wore that design. The old school 80s, 90s design. They
They
brought
brought
it
it
back for a long time, actually.
Yeah.
What do you think of that current Intercontinental title?
Oh, man, I don't hate it, but I definitely don't love it.
I mean, I think it would work better maybe for another title, but not the Intercontinental title.
IC title. You need that old school Mr. Perfect IC title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the only one for me.
Do you think, like, all right, now this is going deep here, and I guess it's appropriate for this. Do you think how deep the etching is on the belt makes a difference of how prestigious the title is?
No.
No?
How deep the etching is?
Yeah. Like, all right, so I have some replica belts here,
No.
okay? And each one is different. Some of them, the etching, they carved into it a little bit deeper than other ones.
Probably to bring it out.
Bring it out
3D.
more, bring out those details and
Right.
those sharp angles
And,
more.
I mean, you said you didn't like the new world titles.
Right.
That's almost 3D. That's in your face, right? That's popping right out.
It really is, and it's all like jewels, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it look prestigious. I get it. It is what it is. But I don't know. Like even like all right, so I have a winged eagle over there, and the etching is not very deep.
Right.
Honestly, I would prefer to have one with the deeper etching. I have other belts with deeper etching, and I do enjoy those, but still, it's the winged eagle. So here we are at this list, and I think like everybody has mentioned the winged eagle so far. The design itself sometimes makes me forget about the fact that I like, the extra details. Right. If it's an awesome design, perfect. Like before, Shep from Shepland, my literal bro, he mentions the hardcore title. Right. I love the hardcore title. I think that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, but it's an idea.
It's an idea. Well, and it's a design too. Like I think that's really cool. Like your hardcore division, your rough and tough division has a belt that's just battered and falling apart. I think it's very suitable for that division.
Right, absolutely. But there's 4 belts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're looking at like New Japan too. We can throw in this.
Yep.
Are you gonna put the hardcore title in your top 4 ever?
Not mine personally.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, not mine personally.
Like, there's a lot of
I
belts
do
out
love
there,
that
man.
design. And you know what I find very strange is they say that the hardcore title is not an old winged eagle.
It's definitely
It's definitely a winged eagle.
Unless they just threw the parts in there.
Yeah, like Bruce Pritchard is saying it's like a tag team title.
I think he was saying that it wasn't the one that Mr. Perfect destroyed on the Brother Love show.
Oh, that is a horse of a different color.
I think that's what he said.
Okay.
Because I think people just assumed that he destroyed it, so they kept it and they just made the hardcore.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I could be
All
wrong.
right. Well, that's something different.
That was a cool thing too when he did that. That was.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect taking a hammer and destroying the winged eagle. Hulk Hogan crying over the pieces afterwards. The Genius laughing in the background and frolicking around. Oh yes, Mr. Perfect.
Isn't that perfect? Randy would have loved it.
Oh yes, murderer. So next, we have first-time submission from Daryl C. He has the WWE Undisputed Championship, the current IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, the Winged Eagle, and the 80s and 90s Intercontinental Championship. So yeah, that Undisputed Championship. Brock Lesnar had it. Kurt Angle had it. Eddie Guerrero had it.
Taker had it, right?
Taker had it.
Hogan had it.
Hogan!
Triple H?
Yeah, at some point. Yeah, he was the first one to have it, yeah. Yeah, because the Undisputed title started out as the 2 belts that Jericho had. Then Triple H won the 2 belts, and then it became 1 title, and he was the first one to have it, and then less than a month later, Hogan got it.
Right.
So...
I thought it was a pretty cool looking belt.
Yeah.
Forgettable, though, right? To me, anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't around for very long. I mean,
no.
Introduced it in 2002, and I think it was gone by...
Well, then they did a brand split to get rid of it or something?
They did, but it was John Cena won the championship, and then they switched over to the spinner.
Gotcha.
And that was it for that title.
How stupid, huh?
Wicked stupid. I think that the Undisputed design was only around for 3 years.
Yeah.
So
That spinner belt's probably got to be the worst thing ever. Even Edge's, the rated R one.
yeah, I mean, why don't we just get into it? What is the worst design for a championship belt?
Those.
You think those are?
Definitely.
What about like way back in the day when like Bruno Sammartino had the belt that was just in the shape of like the United States?
Yeah, I know. But like
Those are rough.
you can't fault them. There was, that was kind
Technology,
of brand new.
maybe?
Yeah. That was like brand new. People weren't
Yeah.
thinking about like, the bigger picture.
You think that Reg Parks made those shitty championship belts?
Probably gave Stu Hart a
Yeah,
belt
that
buckle.
Reg Parks makes crappy belts. Yeah, he ain't nothing.
I'm gonna stretch him out down the dungeon.
He stretches belts out. Oh, goodness. Hey, so how about that current IWGP Championship?
Cool belt.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
But that's what I'm saying. You gotta throw those in there, right?
Yeah.
So I know people are gonna do that.
It's a great design, obviously modeled after the big gold. But I love their lion, like that lion logo.
Right.
If they were to go the route of WWE and just have a giant lion, I think that would be cooler than the WWE title.
You think so?
Honestly, yeah.
Just a lion's head?
Yeah. I think if they were to do that, yes. But I love their title. I think it's great.
Do you like AEW's title?
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. It's not in my top 4, but I think it's definitely in the top 10.
Do you think, honestly,
Yeah, let's hear it.
do you think Bret Hart was the person to,
Oh God, let's hear
the
it.
right person to introduce that title? Like to give it to the first
What do you? What are we
AEW champion.
turning this into? You know what the best part of that whole moment was? The best part of that whole moment was when MJF came out and he said, "Oh, Bret, look out! There's a fan!" And even Bret Hart laughed at him. First he looked and then he started laughing.
But
But Bret Hart,
like
I mean, it depends who they had available.
anybody but Bret.
Well,
If people say Bret's synonymous with WWE and WWF, that's why I don't like AEW, because they're doing what they said they weren't going to do.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, so you're gonna have Bret Hart out there giving out the first AEW champion
Yeah.
the championship. Why not save your money? All right? You don't put this idiot on TV, and you have like Tony Khan just give it to him.
You could, but I think
Have JR give it to him.
well, all right. JR is one thing. I think if Tony Khan had given it to him, I think he still would have gotten criticism. Like, oh, here's this guy, living off of his dad's money, handing out titles, thinking he's a big shot. Okay, I get it.
But he is.
Well,
You know what I mean? He's not going out there trying to get heat.
no.
All he's
not.
doing is, as the owner of the company, he is giving.
I did see he's trying to get heat lately, though. Now that they're doing this whole feud with Impact,
Oh, is he really?
him and Tony Schiavone have these spots on Impact where they're cutting these old school promos.
But at the time,
Yeah.
he didn't. All right. At the time, he didn't.
But I mean, I don't know. It depends on your stance on Bret Hart.
What did he ever do for AEW?
He did nothing for AEW, but who has done anything for AEW so far?
Tony Khan. Anyone, and you could have done it with anyone. You could have done it with any of the coaches.
Yeah.
You had Arn Anderson was signed to them. Tully Blanchard was signed. Do you know what I'm saying?
All right.
You could have had,
That's a good point. Yeah.
But no, you're gonna bring in this guy off the street.
Yeah.
Looks homeless.
It's
You know what I mean? Ugh.
well, it is what it is. All right, so let's go into package pile driver shirts here. He has for us the ECW 1999 World Heavyweight Championship. He has the Big Japan Pro Wrestling Deathmatch Heavyweight Championship, the WWF Smoking Skull Championship, and the Combat Zone Wrestling Wired Championship. So we have some very diverse titles here. Let's start with the ECW 1999 Championship, created by J-Mar.
That's a terrible list.
You think that's a terrible list? Yeah.
That's awful.
Awful. All right.
I don't know. Did you like the 99 ECW Championship belt?
I did because I thought it was very suitable for ECW. However, that 1999 championship was designed for Taz. The original design says Taz on it. And then, months after he gets that title, he signs a deal with WWF.
Right.
So now ECW is stuck with this title that says Taz on it. So what do? What do they do to cover up Taz? They put barbed wire baseball bats on it, and they put like these two fighting guys on it. But no.
No, it's awful.
It's Taz's belt, man.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know what the deathmatch one looks like.
The Big Japan deathmatch. It's a cool belt. It's cool.
Does it have a witch on it?
No, it doesn't have a witch on it.
Does it have a mummy and a werewolf and Dracula?
No, unfortunately not. But come on, the Stone Cold Smoking Skull title, that's a great belt.
No, it's not.
You don't think so?
No.
The rattlesnake skin.
I don't like belts that are made for wrestlers.
But he was still the champion. He was the champion, and as the champion, he had his own custom design.
Yeah, just like Daniel Bryan did it with his burlap sack freaking belt.
His hemp
Whatever
strap.
it is. It was stupid.
Yeah, but it fits the character. It fits that person.
The Fiend's title. Stupid.
Oh, that's going to be on somebody's list.
Are you serious?
Yep, the Fiend's title is on somebody's
How bad
list.
was that?
Yep. Yeah,
No,
that was actually designed by Tom Savini, the horror movie extraordinaire, who was synonymous with a lot of like the 80s horror special effects.
How much time did he put into that title? Oh, look, it's his face. I put his face in the front, and then he put a little strap on the side that's, with his colors.
It's always the case with that. It's always the case.
Must have put a lot of thought into that there, Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck!
Horrible.
Oh, man. All right, so I guess we'll just keep going. I know you haven't seen the CZW Wire Championship.
That's why
it's a cool belt. It's a cool belt. All right, so next we have Albrico from the Union. Yeah, he gave me this list verbally. He has the WWF late 80s and 90s Intercontinental Championship, the WWF European Championship,
Oh, boy.
the Big Gold, and the Smoking Skull.
Oh, man. Tell me that Smoking Skull's not going to be there at the end.
It might be.
Come on, Ian.
It might be. I'm very surprised you don't like it. I thought that was great for Stone Cold.
No, man. I don't like those. I have an issue with them.
You don't like the design specific for the rest.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like when they make their own titles for
the
them.
rated R
don't
title.
Like,
you don't like that.
I don't like when they do the specific one for the wrestler.
Yeah.
Because all right, they're gonna lose it. So the other guy's gonna have to carry on this idiot's title for like a week till he gets a new one.
No, they'll just change it like they did with Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston. As soon as Daniel Bryan, or if the potential is there for Daniel Bryan to lose the belt, then the old belt is going to be there off to the side for the winner.
Yeah, but isn't that telling you that the other guy's gonna win the title?
It could.
It did.
It did in that case, yeah. It definitely did in that case.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Did you ever see the design that they were going to use for The Rock? The Brahma Bull Championship?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No.
No.
I did see that, though.
Yeah, it was just something that just never came to be. Right. And then, here's something. Mabel, when he won the King of the Ring, he actually commissioned a belt to be made. It wasn't WWF that wanted, to change things around and have a belt for the King of the Ring. Mabel asked for a King of the Ring title to be made. And it was a big mystery for years, who commissioned this title? Who, was the King of the Ring going to be a championship? No, it was Mabel. He won the King of the Ring, and he wanted to forever remember himself as the King of the Ring.
Did he get it?
The title?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, he got it, yeah. Oh, yeah, he got it. Not long after he was the King!
Right. I don't know. I was going to say maybe they should have a title for King of the Ring. Why?
They barely do it anymore, and
sometimes
I feel like...
they do, sometimes they don't.
I was actually thinking lately, how cool would it be if they had the King of the Ring again, and the finals ended up being Cesaro versus Nakamura?
Yeah.
Because they're currently a tag team.
Right.
And Nakamura wins. Okay? And now Nakamura is the king, so now he's King Nakamura. Now you could turn Cesaro babyface and he could chase after Nakamura. And with Nakamura, you could just make him relevant. Just make him relevant, He's got this big crown. Make him like this lazy dude that just hangs out on a throne and has girls fanning him all the time. And then you could bring like a manager up to speak for him, like what's that guy's name in NXT? Bivens, Malcolm Bivens, I think is his name.
Story.
I don't know. I think that's his name, but I think, bring somebody up like that. He could talk for Nakamura.
And they could even do Emperor Nakamura.
Emperor Nakamura. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right? Because, he's not a king. He's an emperor.
They don't have the king of Japan. The emperor. You're right, pal.
I think that would be pretty cool. But they carried it on for so long. Look at Corbin. Like, he's still doing this.
That's the thing. You got to commit to it. If you're going to be doing this, you got to do this every year. You got to put it back on your calendar. Which I just heard they're going to have Armageddon again.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Which, I mean, hey, whatever. It's just a name.
Right.
But.
Or are they replacing with that?
I just thought about that because I think they're replacing Elimination Chamber.
Oh, really?
With Armageddon. So, do you remember when they had that Armageddon 6-man?
Yeah, that was
Hell in a Cell.
Wasn't that in December?
Yeah.
December shows.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking because it's before WrestleMania. What if they had Armageddon and they have Elimination Chamber? One's for Raw and one's for SmackDown, and maybe there's a screw job finish in the Rumble, and they have to bring it to the Armageddon 6-man Hell in a Cell, and whoever wins that challenges for the championship on Raw. Then there's SmackDown. What's SmackDown gonna do? They're going to have the Elimination Chamber.
It's very complicated.
It is very complicated. I'm thinking like them. Like them, Brian.
King of the Ring, they should have had the winner, just like the Royal Rumble, gets a future title shot.
Yeah.
Gets a title shot at the next pay-per-view. Because,
Not necessarily WrestleMania?
Not WrestleMania. Not WrestleMania, because
King of the Ring would
Royal
be in June,
Rumble. Royal Rumble gets the WrestleMania spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then King of the Ring, the very next pay-per-view, you just have that person versus the champion. And it's an easy way to keep the title on the current champion.
Okay.
Because it's not a real storyline there.
Yep.
It's kind of like just one of those things where it just gets thrown in, Okay. And then if you wanted to surprise people, then maybe you could do it that way. And you could really push it King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, hey, he's the King of the Ring, now he gets nothing.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying, though.
Just my opinion. And then, you change the title, then you get into a storyline with the two of them. Because the guy whoever just went over, won the title, and then now you have the former champion chasing, because,
I like it. Well, what about back in the day when they did have the King of the Ring to a lesser extent, like, they had Haku, they had King Haku, and
they used to have King of the Ring at house shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they were mostly in Providence and Foxborough and
right.
Local to us, but so that only means something to us, but not necessarily.
You don't know that, though. So you don't know what they were doing in Louisville or Ohio.
I know one time they tried having a steel cage tournament, but it was more so like a steel cage gauntlet.
Yeah.
So it was one match the entire show. Kind of, because it was a gauntlet. So it was 24 guys. Yeah. And think of it like a Royal Rumble where you draw numbers. So number 1 and 2, they fight in the steel cage. Whoever wins stays. Right. Whoever loses is eliminated. So if you're staying in the ring, okay, well now you're going to bring out number 3. And it's just like a constant cage match. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, once you've been through all 24, you have like your tournament champion. And I think the only time they did that, I think the winner was Tito Santana. So that'll tell you the prestige necessarily that the tournament had. Sheesh. But it was an idea, it was all just an idea.
It's an idea, man, but realistically, 1 and 2, pretty much 1 through 10 isn't going to be there at the end.
No. Unless it's like Goldberg or something like that. Just plowing through people. Alright, let's go to... Hey, look at this. It's Mikey from the streets. Right. Let's see what his list consists of here. We've got the Winged Eagle. This is interesting. The NWO spray-painted WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh.
He's got the Smoking Skull title.
Like, you're blowing it.
And he's got the $1 Million title.
You're blowing it.
So, do we count the NWO spray-painted title as the WCW title, or do we count it as a separate design?
I guess it's going to be a separate design because they sell those with the spray paint. Right?
You are correct.
So they're marketing it. It's got to be
as a separate design. Yeah.
So that's a separate design. I don't know, man. I don't like the list, but hey, if those are his favorites, then those are his favorites. Who am I?
And those are mostly custom titles. 3 out of 4 of those are custom titles.
He likes the customs, huh?
That NWO spray painted belt worked for both Hogan and Kevin Nash. Smoking Skull for Austin, the $1 Million for DiBiase, and then that classic 90s winged eagle.
Wingding.
Might as well be. Winged eagle, like we said, designed by Reg Parks. Do you have any winged eagle specific moments that stick out in your mind?
Yeah, when him beat the shit out of it.
All right,
I thought that was a cool moment, man.
It's a good one. For me, it was when Shawn Michaels won the Iron Man match.
Yeah, that was cool.
Bret Hart, he was crying over the belt. I thought that was a cool moment.
Tell him to get the hell out of my ring.
Yes, talking trash to Earl Hebner. And then, I have on my list of topics here, famous belt designers.
I don't know, Betty. I don't know any.
Yeah, we talked about Reg Parks. We briefly talked about Jay Marshall, who designed those 1999 era ECW titles. So he's known for that. Dave Milliken is a big time designer. Designed a lot of the old school belts. JB Toys 1, who submitted a list to us before, he just designed a concept that Edge had for the Rated R Championship. It was similar to the 80s, 90s Intercontinental Championship. It definitely wasn't that spinner belt that they had. So yeah, JB Toys 1, he's designed a belt.
Did he design it for Edge? Like Edge
Edge
went to him.
Alright, so Edge had like this kind of like a sketch of this design that he had. And it was rejected by Vince.
Yeah, so he wanted it anyway, right?
He wanted it anyway. And he just recently had it made.
That guy made it.
And it was JB Toys 1 who made it.
Nice.
And he made my hybrid belt, the two designs, the Winged Eagle and the Big Eagle, the Attitude Era.
I like that Big Eagle belt, man.
Yeah,
That's very underrated.
I don't know if anybody put it on this list, honestly.
How underrated is that belt?
It is. It's an awesome belt.
You have a CZW title and you have a Japanese deathmatch title, but you don't have
the Big Eagle.
Yeah.
Triple H had it. Kurt Angle had it. Mick Foley had it.
That was a cool title.
The Rock. That was a great design.
And the blue strap was cool.
Oh, it made that belt pop, man. Yeah, for sure.
That might be on my list.
Yeah? Alright, that's cool.
I'm surprised one of them that is on my list isn't on there.
But yeah, belt designers. One that's been getting a lot of notoriety lately is Belts by Dan. And that's because Conrad Thompson was promoting him a lot on his podcast. Top Rope Belts. They designed a belt for me way back in the day when I thought I could be a wrestling promoter.
Do you still have it?
No, I sold that belt.
Why?
I was desperate for money and I was stupid.
You wanted more wrestling figures.
I did. I wish I had kept that title. The Pure Wrestling Entertainment title. Google it.
Where is it? Who has it?
A guy in Kentucky, last I heard.
Are you serious?
I sold it. I sold my ring and the title to a guy in Kentucky. You need to take that.
That's weird. No.
What?
My Siri was going off. My Siri went off.
Oh.
For no reason. It was just like...
Wow.
I saw a little thing on the bottom of the phone like going nuts.
Oh, man.
Is Siri listening to me?
She's listening to this whole thing.
The government's listening to our podcast.
They
as
are.
We speak. And listen to it live, pal.
Hey, how much do these guys weigh?
How much do these guys make?
The only other belt designer I had on here was Wildcat Belts. I know Wildcat Belts made a lot of the newer WWE designs. But, do you think a belt needs to have something on it? We started to talk about that.
I don't think there needs to be that many belt makers. That's a lot of belt makers, no?
Well, some people, apply their craft for a certain amount of time, then I guess they stop. And
How many companies actually need belts?
Somebody needs a belt.
I mean, there's no independent companies running really right now, right?
Well, probably not necessarily legally, but there's still shows going on.
Out of barns and stuff.
Yeah, they're still going. It's still happening. There's no masks anywhere.
But, that's a lot of belt makers.
Yeah.
How do they stay afloat?
There's more so now because I think as technology evolves, it becomes a lot easier to produce these belts. So therefore, it becomes easier for the common person to say, oh, hey, I got the extra money. Why don't I buy all this equipment and make this,
You're right,
sought-after item?
Right.
There's a lot of belt makers say...
It's probably like a side project for them.
Sure.
It's not like, they have a factory
Yeah.
putting out these belts constantly.
But some places might have a factory. Like, I know there's a lot of belt sellers from Pakistan.
Right.
So maybe there's a giant factory in Pakistan who's saying, hey, let's just make belts for a living. It's possible.
I guess
anything's possible.
Yep.
Look at Breaking Bad. Walter White. Everything that was going on with him.
He made belts?
No, he made meth. But, I mean, anybody can make anything and make a profit,
Maybe
I
that's
suppose.
where he went wrong. He should have had a wrestling belt company.
Can you imagine that?
And he had, a little compartment inside the belt, and that's where he started.
For the meth.
That's where he put his meth.
They probably could have dragged that out another season if they took that approach.
I mean, who would have thought meth would be in wrestling belts, right?
Okay, so our next list here is from Danny Love. He has the WWE Undisputed Championship, the 80s, 90s Intercontinental Championship, the Big Gold, and the original TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
Like the list besides the TNA Championship.
You don't like that one?
No, not really.
It was a lot like the Big Gold, but like I said, TNA World Heavyweight Championship on it.
I don't love it. Who had that? Shamrock?
Kurt Angle. No, not Shamrock. No.
Isn't
No,
that the
Kurt
original?
Angle. I think Christian might have had it.
So how original is that title?
Well, here's the thing: is TNA started as NWA TNA, so they had the NWA title for a while.
Learning tree time. Let me sit on the floor. Hold on.
So then, when they broke away from the NWA, they had to have the TNA title. So
All right.
they had the King of the Mountain match.
So what I'm talking about. When I
So,
say
like,
Shamrock, he had the NWA TNA title.
No, he had the NWA title. Because
I know.
NWA TNA was the company, but the title was NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Oh, boy. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Weird. It's kind of like New Japan. New Japan Pro Wrestling does not have the New Japan World Heavyweight Champion. They have the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. And they also have the Never Openweight Champion.
Then they have the Never Open Tag Team 3-Way Champion.
Something like
and
that.
they have belts for everything, don't they?
Yeah.
Junior heavyweight,
They
juniors,
Junior heavyweight, Junior Heavyweight Tag Team.
The Black Trunk Junior Heavyweight Young Dragons belt.
Yeah, that might be out there.
I'm sure it is. They have it for everything.
How about, alright, so now that you brought that up, there was a time when Bob Backlund fought Antonio Inoki. And Antonio Inoki won the match, and subsequently won the WF Championship, but refused the title. Because of some technicality, maybe like a foot on the rope or something like that. So in turn, the WWF created the World Karate Championship.
Oh, man.
And gave it to Antonio Inoki in turn for him not accepting the World Heavyweight Championship. And would defend it every now and then when he'd come to Madison Square Garden.
He accepted that?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
how stupid.
The World Karate Championship. Of course, because he's from Japan, he must know karate, right?
That's dumb.
Yeah.
So he legit, that wasn't WWE saying, no, don't accept that title, That was him legit saying he didn't want to accept it.
Well, it was definitely, it was a, how can we put this? It was a compromise of sorts.
The work shoot?
Yeah, a
Okay.
work shoot, yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's the best way to describe it. Alright, so next list is from Jordan in Tennessee, who is going to be visiting up here soon. I was kind of hoping he'd be here in time by now, because...
I know, what the hell?
I know, he really wanted to be a part of the show, but, bad timing. But, okay, so he has the Smoking Skull title.
Nope.
As we discussed, the Big Eagle, the Attitude Era Championship.
Good.
That's on there. The United States Spinner Championship.
Nope.
And the current IWGP Championship.
Okay.
The United States Spinner Championship?
No. Terrible.
That's definitely one of the worst designs, I would say.
Yeah. You think?
I understand that it was to go with John Cena's character, but it was ugly.
Anything spinner can go.
Oh, it was
trash.
Awful.
Yeah, it's
awful. No, thank you. No. Sorry, Jordan, but no. That's yucca.
Bad Jordan.
Alright, the next list is from JC from...
When is he coming?
I think he's coming in a couple days, actually.
Oh, so we just missed him.
Just missed him.
So he's going to be here for New Year's?
I think he's going to be here for New Year's.
Is it coming out New Year's Day, New Year's Eve?
Maybe.
Also, he'll be here for New Year's Eve.
Probably.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We just missed him. Alright, so the next list, JC from EP. He has the Winged Eagle. He has the White Strap Intercontinental Championship. He has the WCW United States Championship and the Ring of Honor television title.
Okay. I like the, I mean, he said white strap Intercontinental title. I'm still gonna... I'm saying that's still the old school.
That's hairy. I think it's gonna count as old school.
Yeah, I would, because Ultimate Warrior had the yellow strap.
Yeah.
Had the blue straps. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
but then
so
they brought back the white strap for
right. So
when they brought it back.
Yeah.
You know?
And multicolored IC title is old school.
It's the same design.
I would say so.
Yeah. All right.
That'd be like me saying, the Powder Blue Warrior.
Yeah,
IC
it's still the
title,
Winged
you know
Eagle.
what I mean?
Yeah. The WCW United States Championship. How does that rank to the new WWE United States Championship?
Way down, I think.
Way down.
I think, dude. I mean, I'm saying the new U.S. title is on my list for favorite titles.
It's an awesome belt,
and I'm probably gonna be on the minority on that. I know I'm on the minority on it. Probably no one else probably even has it on their list, and that's fine because it's my personal favorite. It's not my favorite, but it's one of the four that I really really like. You look wicked confused right now. What's up?
Who was that? What? Everybody in the club get tipsy.
Everybody in the club get tipsy.
Who sang that?
I forgot. Was it T.I.?
I don't know. I thought that was a calculator.
A what?
A calculator. T.I. Texas Instruments?
No, T.I. is a rapper.
Yeah?
Yeah. Not a... Yeah. I mean, come on. Let me look this up.
Everybody in the club get tipsy.
I'm gonna be so wrong. Watch. You'll be like, who? It's Jaquan. Jaquan.
So who are you talking about?
I'm talking about T.I.
T.I. Underlay. T.I.
Hold on. Rapper T.I.
What does he say?
Come on.
Hey, what does that guy say?
What is T.I. worth?
How much is that guy worth?
Songs. Here we go. Let's see. Live Your Life.
Live Your Life. The hell's that?
Dead and Gone.
What?
Hold on, let me play it. Hold on.
Who?
Oh, there's an ad. Damn ads.
I think you're joking on me here.
I'm not. Hold on.
What the hell are you playing for me here?
This is T.I.
This is a real life?
Yes. This.
Come on. That's like an old YouTube thing.
This?
This is real life?
This was on
It's
The
a
Hangover.
real song.
This song was on The Hangover.
Yikes.
Remember, on the Vegas... Well, everyone's on the Vegas Strip. It's Rihanna and T.I.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I do know this. I didn't know that intro, though. Oh.
I knew Rihanna sang it. I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah, that's rough. People like that.
They love it.
Oh, that's rough.
I like it. I don't mind it.
You like this song?
I like it. I don't mind Rihanna, period.
You know who else likes Rihanna, bro? Vince Russo loves Rihanna, bro. Loves Rihanna.
Really?
Thinks she's the greatest entertainer, bro.
I don't mind her.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that the one with the umbrella?
Umbrella, Ella,
Yeah.
A.
No,
Yes.
that's Eddie Vedder. You imagine if Eddie Vedder and Rihanna did a collaboration? Nobody would know who the hell was who.
Who's Eddie Vedder?
Come on! You're killing me, Smalls! Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam. He's right here.
Oh no! Very broken.
Yeah.
Oh no!
If
If I wanted to,
Eddie Vedder and Rihanna, man, that's the ultimate collaboration. It would be like screaming goats. Ah!
under my umbrella, Ella.
Holy cow, it's getting silly in here. Wow. It's weird not having Sarah here to like bring us like
Yeah,
back
Sarah's
down
definitely a
to
buffer.
earth, you know?
Like, all right, guys, get back on.
Yeah,
track.
like come on, we have food to eat. And like Pat's not here, like telling us like, yeah, guys, you're doing awesome.
Right? No, we're definitely not doing awesome. If Pat's not here to encourage us.
All right, let's see. All right, so next we have Hunter LNR. He gives us the Winged Eagle, the 80s 90s Intercontinental Championship, the Big Gold, and the original Ring of Honor Championship again.
All right, it's a decent list.
Let's just keep moving here.
How many more do we have?
How
How many more lists does this guy have?
8.
Good lord.
What do you mean? That's not that bad. A lot of them are going to be repeats.
All right.
Billy the Biker. He has the Big Gold,
All right.
the Smoking Skull title,
Oh.
the Hardcore title, the WWF Hardcore title, that is, and, wouldn't you know, the NWO spray-painted WCW Championship.
He started off good. I like that big gold belt.
Yeah, isn't that funny? He's got the Big Gold and the NWO spray-painted Big Gold.
Really likes that NWA gold title.
Alright, let's see who we have next. Maybe we'll move in a different direction here. So, we have Phil Squared. He gives us the Winged Eagle,
Okay.
the $1 Million Championship,
Nope.
the original TNA Heavyweight Championship,
NWA TNA or TNA?
TNA.
You got me all flustered and confused now.
It's the one we talked about before.
I know. I got it.
And
not the Shamrock one, the other
nope,
one.
the other one. And the last belt on his list, the NWO spray-painted Big Gold.
Seriously?
I swear, man. Yeah, that's another vote for the,
So he doesn't have the original.
No.
That's
he,
like
he prefers that belt spray-painted.
That's like taking a big shit on tradition.
Shit, literally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have the original
Yeah.
title, but you have the spray-painted one.
Yep.
I mean, I can see, alright, Billy at least had Billy the Biker there. He at least had the original world title first, so, like,
Yeah.
I could see that. Maybe he really likes the title, and, you know, even though it's got spray paint and they took a big shit on it, he still likes it because it is, you know, the big gold title.
Yep.
Cool. This guy doesn't even have the original world title on there.
Nah. Not
That's
about
awful.
it. He's not about it.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
That is that gonna make the list?
The
That
NWO?
might make the list.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
I'd be very disappointed if that
Alright,
was the
well,
list.
let's keep going on here. We got Hunter the River Dweller. He gives us the Winged Eagle. He gives us the Big Gold. He gives us the current IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Okay.
And he gives us the WCW United States Championship.
Good list.
Yeah.
But, you know, I like, I'm going to say it again, I like the current United States title over that one. Over any of them.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think... Alright, so I'm going to throw like a couple ideas at you here.
Sure.
Do you think that a belt design needs to have a globe on it?
Not necessarily.
And do you think that...
I think a world title,
Yeah.
fine. I could see it, but I don't think it necessarily has to. Now that you mention that, maybe the WWE title currently should have like a globe background
Okay.
with that big ass logo.
Okay, so now... Alright, so if a title has a globe on it, should the whole world be shown on the globe?
Well, what do you mean?
Okay, so think about it this way. When you look at a globe, it's a perfect circle.
Yeah.
And, the continents are spread across it.
What if you can't get every continent on there, though?
So what you're showing then is a flat Earth.
So what do you want, like a spinner globe?
Well, I'm just saying. If you put a globe on a belt, what continents do you choose to put on that globe?
Well, if it's a Japanese belt, then you put Asia.
All right, so it depends where the company is located.
Right, you put your location.
Oh, there we go. We figured it out.
And then maybe some of if you can fit a little piece of Europe or something like that on it, then you do that.
Do you think it's easier to just throw like flags on the belt?
You can do that, but what flags do you put now?
Any country that has wrestling, I guess.
Any country that has wrestling. You realize
any country that has pro wrestling.
You realize what a country is, don't you? Like, continents don't have flags. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
continents don't have flags, but
North
countries
America,
do.
Countries do, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how many countries there are?
There's tons. But how many of those countries have pro wrestling?
Probably a lot.
Well, that's something we're going to have to find out.
You don't think there's pro wrestling in Luxembourg?
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like, Denmark doesn't have pro wrestling?
They could.
So you gotta put, like, every continent. How do you can't do that?
It depends how big the belt is.
It's not gonna... Dude. What is it, like a watch? You could take links off and shit?
Hey, there we go. We're onto something here. Instead of a belt around your waist, it's the World Championship watch.
Oh, man. You can't put every...
Rolex! Custom Rolex!
I mean, think about that. Like, you mean, like, really significant pro... Like, I mean, I'm sure India has it, right?
They must. Yeah, I actually
England,
heard that there might be an NXT India. Yeah.
Japan's got a big pro wrestling country. But, like, Italy isn't, but I'm sure they have wrestling.
Do they?
What, dude?
I don't know.
You don't think there's independent wrestling in Italy?
Italy Championship Wrestling.
Hey, make it the meatballs. Come on.
Leaning Tower Wrestling.
Leaning Tower Wrestling. There you go.
Oh my God! If that doesn't exist, I would. And their commissioner's like, "Hey, who wants the title shots?"
We should go to Italy, and we should open up Leaning Tower Wrestling.
Leaning Tower Wrestling.
LTW.
That would be awesome. These two American guys that think they're big deals, are coming to Italy. And at our first show, special guest referee Tony Danza.
He's like, "Oh, Angela, who's the boss?"
Special guest timekeeper Tony Iommi.
Oh, man.
All right, so next we have Death by Lariat. He has the Big Japan Pro Wrestling Deathmatch Heavyweight Championship. He has the 1999 ECW World Heavyweight Championship. He has the DDT Iron Man Heavy Metal Weight Championship. And the WWWA World Championship.
WWWA?
Yes, that's the ladies' promotion. The women's promotion.
Come on, who was that?
This is Death by Lariat.
No.
So he's giving... So the Big Japan Pro Wrestling Deathmatch Heavyweight Championship gets the second vote. So that's on our final list at the end.
It's better than the NWO spray-painted title. Right?
Yes. So, alright, let's have some fun here. We have a list from Mike Magnus. He has the Smoking Skull title.
Nope.
He has the John Cena Spinner Heavyweight Championship.
Nope.
He has the current New Japan World Heavyweight Championship.
Okay.
And he has the WWE Divas Tag Team Championship.
Come on.
So he puts the John Cena Spinner
Oh, God.
and the Divas Tag title right up there with the New Japan, or I'm sorry, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and the Smoking Skull, which I know you don't like the Smoking Skull, but come on. The IWGP Championship on the same list as the John Cena Spinner and the Divas Tag Team Championship.
What a terrible list. The Divas Tag Team
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
There's so many belts out there, dude. The Intercontinental title.
We don't even have a vote for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
I don't really know what their titles look like. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, going with like tradition, you have the tag team, the 80s and 90s tag team titles.
Yep.
You know, I'll put the FTW title over those women's.
That's
tag
a
team
shoot,
titles.
brother.
Like, come on.
Yep.
How bad?
Yeah. That's Mike Magnus.
Isn't he the guy that put Sonny Kiss in the women's?
That is exactly who put Sonny Kiss on the Mount Rushmore of women's wrestling.
All right, next one.
We have Paul Licious here. We have the 1999 Ecw World Heavyweight Championship. We have...
Then he asked me why I'm mad at him on Facebook. He's on Facebook and he's like, oh, I think he's mad at me or something.
Yeah.
Well, no shit.
Yeah.
Like, you put a dude on a women's list. And, like, not even a very good one. Either. He's not good at being a man. He's not good at being a woman.
Nope.
He's not a good wrestler.
Nope.
And you're going to put him on a Mount Rushmore of anything?
I hear you, man.
Why am I mad? Why am I mad at you?
I know, you tell me.
I just told you. But
I know.
It was a rhetorical question. Carry on.
So Paul Licious puts the 1999 ECW World Heavyweight Championship. He puts the WWF Winged Eagle. He puts the NWA World Television Championship and the current WWE United States Championship.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So go over that list again? One more time.
All right.
One more time.
So we have the 1999 ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
Gotcha.
We have the WWF Winged Eagle.
Yep.
We have the NWA World Television Championship. And we have the current WWE United States Championship.
Well, who's this guy?
Paul Licious.
I think we just became best friends. Aside from the ECW title...
That's a very diverse list.
Aside from the ECW title, I mean, he's one off. Yeah, I mean, that's a great list.
I know you love the television title.
Dude, that's my favorite title.
The
ever.
NWA television title,
we should
yeah.
wait till the end for that, but yeah, that is my favorite title ever.
Yeah. And, yeah, the current United States Championship from WWE. Yeah, if you put the blue on the top part of that belt,
Where the stars
where
are.
the stars are, if you put blue behind that, that might be a perfect title.
Yeah.
A perfect title. It's got the deep etching like I love. I love the deep etching. I think the deeper the etching, the better. And that belt, I heard, has 12 millimeter deep etching.
Oh, wow.
Regular belts, 2 millimeter. 4 millimeter.
millimeter.
2 millimeter. 4 millimeter. 8 millimeter is a stretch. This one's got 12 millimeter.
12, huh?
Yes.
I've never paid that much.
Once you go 12 millimeter, you never go back, man.
I'll have to pay attention to the etching now on belts. On titles. You don't call them belts anymore. You call them titles now.
Vince McMahon hates the term belts.
Yeah, he does.
I'm so happy you brought that up. Yes, Vince McMahon hates the term belts. A belt is something you wear to hold your pants up. A championship, pal.
It's a title. It's a major award.
It's a title. Fragile.
He gets it in. He's like, Hunter, got a boss, Fragile.
Must be Italian.
Must be a major award.
This belt must be from Italian Championship Wrestling. Leaning Tower Wrestling. I forgot the name of the company there.
Tower Wrestling.
Yeah. That's all right. All right. So that was Paul Licious. So you like Paul Licious's list?
I like that list a lot.
All right.
I
Next.
love it.
Next we have here is a submission from White Noise.
Why are you emphasizing it?
White Noise.
Sorry.
The Big Gold Championship. The late 80s and 90s Intercontinental Championship. The 80s and 90s Tag Team Championship from WWF. And the original TNA X Division Championship. No. You're not feeling these picks from White Noise?
Not really.
No. What do you think about the Big Gold, though?
I mean, the big goal's going to be there at the end, right?
Yeah. It's got to be.
It's a nice belt. Don't get me, dude. I mean, it's the original. It's a freaking Flair belt.
So are we deciding right now that the NWO spray painted is different from the Big Gold, or do we want it to count as the same?
I guess it's different. It's got to be different.
I would say different because
especially
it seems
since people have them both on the list.
Yeah,
so.
they specify NWO spray painted, and maybe it's not NWO spray painted. All right, well, we have one more list. And it is from Steve the Savage.
Alright.
And he has for us the big gold.
Okay.
You're not going to believe this, Brian.
What?
We have a second vote for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships.
Come on.
Then we have a vote for the current WWE Intercontinental Championship.
Wow.
And to round out this list, Brian, we have the Fiend's Universal Championship.
You can discuss this list if you want.
No comment.
I'm just gonna offend people.
No comment on
I'm
this,
just
huh?
gonna offend people if I comment, because you know what? You know how I feel about women's matches. You know how I feel about women's titles, and especially that stupid looking title.
The Women's Tag Team
How stupid
Championship.
looking is that?
Wow, man! If I knew you felt this strongly about the Women's Tag Team titles, I probably would have bought you a replica belt of that for Christmas.
Bad enough, my wife bought my kid a replica AEW title.
No.
She did.
No.
Well, I mean, just the stupid small toy ones. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you meant she spent like $400 on like.
I would have killed her.
Easy there, Benoit.
No. It would have been a kata hachime going on in my house, brother.
Yikes.
No.
So we've gone through all these lists now,
Especially
Brian.
that title. I mean, I can see if she spent $400. Like, even, you know what's a nice title?
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Is the NXT North American title.
Yeah, that is a cool belt.
I like it.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's a really cool design.
If she spent $400 on that for the kid, fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But can you imagine?
Wow.
Can you imagine? No, sir. Can you imagine spending $400 on a tag team women's title?
Yikes. What if she bought him the NWA television title?
Oh my god, I would have loved her.
You would have loved that.
I would have. NWA television. That's my favorite title of all time.
Oh man.
You'd be like, Dad,
I hope this podcast doesn't play in court.
Dad, I want to put this on the shelf. Like, no, that's coming to bed with me.
And you're gonna hold that belt proudly and look at your son and put your finger in his face and say,
I'm
"Learn to love
I
it."
put 4 fingers
What's
in his
causing
face.
all this?
I put 4 fingers in his face, wearing my Carreras, with my short shorts, shirtless,
Oh,
looking
man.
like Arn Anderson.
Yikes.
Loving every minute of it.
Man, that would be a Merry Christmas. Alright, so we've reached the end here, so now we're gonna have to give our lists.
Alright.
So what is on your list?
Dude, I'm torn for the last one, man.
Yeah? Alright,
Alright.
let's hear it. Maybe I can help you.
Alright, so the NWA TV title, my favorite title ever. The red strap, the silver, the silver on. All that. Love that title.
But why? Why do you love it?
I don't know. It's because when I started watching like TBS and stuff like that, that was the title that was on there, and I remember like the Arn Anderson holding that title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Alright.
Yeah, man. Arn Anderson was badass, that title.
It's one of the best ever.
He's synonymous with that title.
He is.
He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, he made that title.
And promos, man. There's
Underrated.
very few better than Arn Anderson.
Wicked underrated in promos,
Yeah,
right?
man. As I'm going through these Jim Crockett shows, man.
Like Flair was the man.
Flair is
No
number
doubt.
one.
Right.
But man,
But if Arn Anderson had just as much, mic time as Flair,
yeah. I mean, even so, if they pulled the trigger and just said, "All right, we're gonna turn Arn babyface," if after the whole Magnum TA incident, if they were like, "All right, we're scrambling, we need somebody new here to take over for Magnum and be our top star, face of the company," dude, if they turned Arn, holy cow, man, that would have been awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. I think he could have done it.
How about Tully?
No,
I
I think Tully is the ultimate heel. He's got a face like a heel. He talks like a heel. He looks like a heel. That's a heel right there.
No, I'm not saying.
I
I'm not saying turn him babyface. I'm saying like promo wise, his promos were very good too.
Tully had awesome promos. Yeah.
Right.
I think the criteria for being a horseman should have been you have to cut an awesome promo because Ole cut amazing promos. So when you have Ole, Arn, Tully, Flair, and JJ, you got 5 people right there who cut killer promos almost every time.
Right.
So anybody that you're taking out of that group, whoever you put into that group, should have been able to cut an insane promo. So Ole leaves and you get Lex. Lex can't cut a promo like Ole.
Right.
Like Ole. Like Ole.
No, Lex needed to stay in the background and just let everyone do the talking for him.
Yeah. So then, once they booted Lex out, they replaced him with Barry Windham. Barry Windham was good. Barry Windham was good. But, I mean, he's not... I don't know. He's not Ole.
I get what you're saying.
He's not Ole. He's not Tully.
It went downhill after Ole.
The original Horseman is the Horseman.
Right.
And the only other thing to rival that is Barry Windham in the group, and only because he was such an incredible wrestler.
Yeah.
Not because of the promos.
I think, like Benoit, obviously not a good promo.
Yeah.
But when they put him in, he fit the bill to just sit back and shut up and let everyone else do talking.
Yeah.
He was that good to where he did. I thought he fit into that group just because of that.
Yeah, and he was an awesome wrestler.
Right.
I mean, you know, you can't
Paul
argue
Roma.
that. What did you say?
Paul Roma.
Paul Roma,
Come on,
yeah.
man.
Sid was in there.
Was a sneaky good promo though. I think.
Yeah.
Sid was so dumb, it was good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Like, he didn't mean to cut a good promo.
Right. It was entertaining. Every time Sid talked, like, you were just like, what's he going to say now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, you're right. Like, the original Four Horsemen were the Four Horsemen. There's no doubt. No one could match that after Ole. So, my second one on this list, with that being said...
Wild tangent.
...is the Winged Eagle.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
The current U.S. title.
Yeah.
And man, this is where I have a tough time because I'm torn between two. I'm torn between the tag titles, the 80s, 90s WWF tag titles, and the Attitude Era World title.
Ooh.
Help me in.
Oh, Attitude Era World title is so underrated, man.
Underrated.
That was such a great design. And I almost feel like, dude, that belt was almost made for Triple H, man.
It was, right?
That belt, like, looks awesome on Triple H.
Does. I just love the way the blue popped.
Yeah. Oh, boy. If I were you, I'd go with that. But this is your list, man. It's up to you.
Well, just like a woman, I'm going to go the opposite of what you said. The 80s, 90s tag titles.
Wow. All right, that's a solid list there, man. You might have offended a few people, but not me. So, my list. The Winged Eagle. The Big Gold. And now my last two titles are going to be completely different. I'm going with the ECW 1999 Tag Team titles. I love those belts.
I hope so.
They had the saw blade on them. And honestly, I wish that the Tag Team title design had been the world title design.
Really?
Because I feel like it fit ECW, especially during that time, so much better. I love that design. I love the purple on the back of the strap. I love the simple coloring of it. Like, it's just gold, black, a little bit of red, purple on the back. That's it. Easy enough. Love that belt.
Really?
Yeah, and and one of my favorite moments is that the Dudleys, that last night in ECW when they're saying they've beat every tag team there is, and then Tommy Dreamer comes out and tries to beat him, and they beat him up, and then Raven returns, and Raven, beats the Dudleys, wins the titles, gives one of the belts to Tommy Dreamer. I love that moment, and I love that belt.
Yeah, moments can make belts.
Moments can make belts, you're right.
They can.
The last belt on my list was not mentioned by anybody. Didn't expect anybody to mention it. A very under-the-radar belt.
Pro Wrestling Gorilla.
No! The FMW Brass Knuckles Championship.
See, as you're saying this, I'm looking it up on my phone.
No, and that's cool.
Because
I want you to see these. I want you to see these belts.
What I'm doing.
I think this is a very unique belt. I think that it's a belt that really should be copied. It's got deep etching. It's got these thick plates stacked on top of each other. No, that's not it. Because they had two versions of the Brass Knuckles Championship. They had one that's similar to the NWA Domed Globe Championship, and then they had this other one that was worn more so by Hayabusa and Mr. Ganasuke.
This one? The one that's on the shoulder?
Let me see. The other one. The one that's on his right shoulder.
Oh, really? Oh, no shit. That looks like a regular world title.
Completely different belt.
That does. It looks like a regular world title.
This one right here.
Yeah, this one's...
Yeah, it's like and it's funny because there aren't a lot of clear pictures of it.
World's Wrestling.
That's it. Yep,
Gotcha.
that's it. There's not a lot of clear pictures of it, but I mean, I can see like 2 lions up top.
That is very different. But my question is, why does everyone that has this title have the other title also? Were they like a joint title?
Yeah, it was like the Undisputed title where they had
2 of them.
2 of them. Yeah, so they carried 2 of them, but that one belt right there, I think is amazing.
Okay, I can see that.
And I'm definitely going to contact JB Toys 1 to see if he can recreate that, because I've never seen anybody recreate that. I've never seen a clear picture of it.
It's right here. Nice clear picture.
You've seen a nice...
Well, clear enough.
On Hayabusa, yeah. But you can't see the whole thing, though.
No, you're right.
You know...
Yes, I know what you're saying. The resolution on it's not great.
You know, I want like a straightforward full picture
Right.
of this belt because it looks amazing. And that etching looks a little bit deeper than 12 millimeter, if I do say so myself.
Is your boy gonna go that deep with the etching?
I hope he better if I'm paying him.
Good luck. How much is that gonna be? Jeez.
How much does that belt cost? All right, so here we are at the end.
There's a lot of detail on that belt too.
It is, yeah. So
Did
he's gonna have to go all out on this.
Did they
thing.
have an explosion match as champion?
No, but that's kind of what the brass knuckles title represented. Because when you think about old school wrestling, you think of a foreign object. The foreign object was usually the brass knuckles.
That's wicked racist.
What do you mean?
Foreign objects.
Foreign. Anything is foreign if it's not here.
I'm joking.
But brass knuckles represents like the lack of rules per se.
If my wife was Korean, would she be a foreign object?
Oh man, that would be great to put in your wedding vows if it were the case.
Do you take this foreign object?
See. All right, so let's get to this Mount Rushmore. This is where Sarah would have a really good time wrapping us up here. So it's a long list. I'm not gonna lie, we got a long list here. I'm gonna read through all of them, but let's start with the Mount Rushmore, the actual Mount Rushmore of wrestling belts. First, we have the Winged Eagle with 11 votes.
Cool.
Then we have the NWA WCW World Heavyweight Championship, which we're calling the Big Gold, 8 votes.
With that, I like it.
The WWF Smoking Skull title, 6 votes.
Man,
So it makes our Mount Rushmore, man.
Yikes.
And then the last belt on our Mount Rushmore, the WWF late 80s and 90s WWF Intercontinental Championship with 6 votes.
I like the list. I don't like the Smoking Skull. Replace that with the tag titles, the 80s, 90s tag titles, and I think you have the perfect list.
All right, so let's go down the list here. Next we have the current IWGP Championship, 4 votes. The 80s and 90s Tag Team Championship, WWF, 4 votes. The NWO Spray Painted Big Gold, 3 votes. So even if we included that with the Big Gold, it would still add up to 11, which would still be on the Mount Rushmore. So either way you look at it, the Big Gold is on there, the NWO Spray Paint. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we just pissed off 3 of you, so sorry.
That's all bullshit.
I love it. 1999 ECW World Heavyweight Championship, 3 votes. WWE Undisputed Championship, 2 votes. Hardcore Championship, 2 votes. $1 Million Championship, 2 votes. Original TNA Championship, 2 votes. WCW United States Championship, 2 votes. Original TNA X Division Championship, 2 votes. Big Japan Pro Wrestling Deathmatch Heavyweight Championship, 2 votes. WWE Women's World Tag Team Championship, 2 votes. And the original Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, 2 votes.
So I like the subject. I liked it because you just heard it. I mean, all the diversity in the titles. And I know I'm dogging a lot of you, and the belts on your list and stuff like that. But I do like the diversity of it. Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean that you don't have your own opinions. And cool. That's what we want. I like yeah. I mean, there's how many of those? There's so many belts on there. That's great. Unlike some of the topics we've done where you can pretty much predict it right off the rip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the face paint one.
Yeah, like face paint.
But I mean, like this list right here has 17 belts, and I mean, depends how you look at it.
That's awesome.
It could be 16, depending on how you consider the NWO.
But still, even 16. So you pick 4 out of those 16.
Yeah, that's fourth
pretty.
of them. I mean,
that's a pretty diverse list, man.
Yeah, I'd say so. And I mean, honestly, if you haven't realized this already, Brian, I'm trying to construct my own pro wrestling museum. So, if I were to fill this place with belts, I'm probably going to put those 16 belts in here. 17 because nobody else voted for the FMW Brass Knuckles title. So I'm definitely going to have that in here. But, you know...
You're going to buy the NWO spray painted title?
Maybe. Maybe I'll even spray paint it myself. And if I even want to go further, maybe I'll pay Hulk Hogan to spray paint the belt for me. There's no limits, Brian! There's no limits!
You want me to do what, brother? I'm sorry, you want me to come to your house and spray paint a title for you, brother?
He's gonna be like, I bet this is that brother that wanted me to sign his back, brother. Oh, man. So, the next time we do this, whenever it may be, our list is going to be the Mount Rushmore of heels.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So, any heel, any time, any era, if you think they belong on your list, the Mount Rushmore of heels. I already have a lot of votes. I need more. We're going to find out. And I'm really looking forward to this. Like, really looking forward. I didn't even ask you what your favorite championship match was.
My favorite champion was the Hogan versus on-off steel cage match from Saturday.
That's your favorite championship match?
Yeah, that's my favorite match ever, I think.
All right.
It was...
Oh,
I was such a little kid, man. Like, that's when I was most into wrestling. Was right there. And that's what I most remember. Like, that was the first Saturday night.
So you were 5 then?
Probably.
4 or 5? 87?
87, so 5.
January 87.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5.
Okay.
4. Yeah, but that's when I really loved it. And that was, I remember, like, dude, I remember staying up for that Saturday night's main event. Yeah. That's the first time I ever stood up for a Saturday night's main event. You know what I mean?
That's good, man. That's good. Oh, man. I posed the question, but I don't have an answer.
I know, it's weird, right?
Yeah. Favorite championship match?
I could probably come up with a better one, but you put me on a spot like that, and that's the first thing I remember.
I mean, it's one of two. I mean, it's either Flair and Steamboat for the Intercontinental, or... No, I'm sorry. Savage Steamboat for the Intercontinental.
Yeah, you did say Flair, right?
I did say Flair. Right. Or...
Well, you could have said Flair and
Steamboat. Oh, I could have said Flair and Steamboat for the world title, because that's my other answer.
But do you think you love that Savage Steamboat match more now because you can appreciate it more? You understand it more? You understand what went into it?
Now that I know that almost every main event match nowadays has patterned itself after that... Yeah, I definitely think it holds more. It's more prestigious in that sense because.
Well, what if you were a kid, like watching wrestling, like in your
when all right, I'll put it this way: when I was a kid and I watched WrestleMania 3, obviously after the fact, because if I watched WrestleMania 3 live, I would have been 1 and I wouldn't remember it. But after the fact, when I first watched WrestleMania 3, I knew that Savage and Steamboat was a classic. With that said, though, as a young kid, I also thought Hogan and Andre was a classic. Right. You know? I guess it's subjective. I guess it depends on the time you viewed it, and then if you've viewed it since then, and if your opinion has changed.
Yeah. I mean, you were probably more into the Attitude Era than I was. Just being...
Loved it.
A few years
Soaked in it, man.
I loved it too, but like I didn't love it as much as like people your age did.
Yeah.
I'm not talking like I'm much older than you, but
no, but still, that is a crucial difference because I mean, how old were you in 1998?
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna do math right now.
All right, we'll think about when you were born.
I was probably like 16, 17.
All right, I was 12, 13.
Okay.
I feel like 12 and 13 is a more impressionable age than, say, a 16, 17.
Yeah.
12, 13.
I was coming off the golden era.
Exactly. Yeah. You know I mean? Yeah.
That was my little kid shit. That was my little... Yes.
I mean, I remember Hogan and Andre, but I remember Hogan and Slaughter a hell of a lot more. You know, and it is. It is that year difference. It is.
Plus, I'm not going to school being like, yeah, wrestling.
Yeah.
I had my clique, my wrestling clique, of course. You know,
yeah.
We were hardcore into wrestling, but like we would never like show it and branch it out into like.
Dude, I gotta tell you though. I mean, when I was in school, I didn't care. I had my Hogan backpack. When I hurt my foot, I had my Hogan slippers on with a friggin' head on them. I was not shy about my fandom. Alright, listen to this. My first grade picture day, right? My mom wants me to look all nice and presentable and stuff like that. And while I did, I also snuck my big Hulk Hogan pin with me into school and made sure to pin it on my shirt for my first grade pictures. My mom got the pictures and she wasn't necessarily mortified, but she was like, what? Like, why? And I'm like, you don't understand, brother, Mom.
I get it, but like, alright, so first grade, yeah, I was like that too.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about high school. Like, no.
That's a big difference. High school and middle school is a big difference.
Right.
I was middle school attitude era.
Right.
You were high school attitude era.
And while I was like, oh, Monday Night War is awesome, I'm going to go home, I can't wait to watch what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I wasn't like going to school and being like, talking to my teachers about the Monday Night Wars, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or like showing that like, wrestling was my thing.
Yeah.
It's not cool to like wrestling, right?
It's not. Especially nowadays, it's not cool to like wrestling.
We don't care nowadays.
Oh my god. No, people still care nowadays. People can't.
No, I'm saying
people care nowadays if you like it.
Right.
Like, from the outside looking in, like, I'm not a big wrestling fan nowadays.
Right. But what I'm saying is, I don't care how people look at me nowadays.
Oh, yeah, no.
Watching
No,
it.
because you reach that certain age where
Right.
you're like, who cares?
But I still watch it. I mean, I watch Raw because my kid, like last night, he wanted to watch Raw. So, we're watching Raw, you know what I mean? But he went to bed, I put the football game on.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of checked in, like, just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
If there was, like, a segment I wanted to watch. But other than that, like, I'm watching Monday Night Football. I'm not watching Raw anymore.
Yeah.
I watch Raw till about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Because they don't make it that must-see TV anymore.
It's really not at all.
And they can use this whole, pandemic excuse all they want, but
Well, I think it does have a lot to do with it.
okay, but ratings were going down pre-pandemic too, and they've been going down since, say, 2001, 2002.
You're right, they were.
They haven't done anything to redeem themselves since the Attitude Era.
But sometimes doesn't the crowd make a segment or a show or something?
It does, but I don't even think the crowd knows what they want anymore.
But you don't know that because it's been how long since we've had a crowd?
Yeah, that's true too.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They can make or break someone.
The best example I have right now is, you remember that Iron Man match between, I think it was Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler? And every single time a minute counted down, the fans would treat it like a Royal Rumble. Right. They would make a mockery of it.
Because the match was a mockery.
Was it, though?
I think... How many pinfalls were there in that match?
Weren't there like a ton? But I don't know.
Oh, but they got pissed. They were
but that was the day that made me realize I almost felt like fans are ruining wrestling.
They could, but like I don't know. I haven't seen that match in forever since it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something I would have forgotten that match even happened if you didn't. Make reference to it.
That's true. But that's true too. Like, matches don't mean anything anymore. What big matches are there?
There aren't.
Even if they brought The Rock in to fight Roman Reigns at the next WrestleMania, is anybody gonna care?
I think with that storyline done right, that could be a great storyline.
Could be a great storyline, but still, have they caused so much damage to their own brand that people are just like, whatever?
I don't know. That's the thing. You can't gauge it because there's no audience there to gauge it off of.
Yeah.
We're talking like we are now. We're going on the internet. We're seeing what the internet has to say. We're on Bleacher Report and all those sites. And it's like we're going by what Meltzer says. We're going by what these writers are saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Is there a place where fans can truly voice their opinion on it?
No, because somebody's always just gonna take over and take the lead and turn it into their own image.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna tell you what to think. They're gonna tell you what they feel the fans are thinking.
You think you can tell me what to do?
You know who you're talking to?
Tell me what to wear?
You know who you're talking to?
DX, baby. All right, so I think we've broken down this topic and many other topics for quite some time now. So might be time.
This was a long one, huh?
That's what she said. But all right, so like I said,
yeah, I fell into that one.
next time around, next round, we're going to be doing the Mount Rushmore of heels. So find us on Instagram, Squared Circle History. And like I said at the beginning, Squared Circle History, it's not dead. It's just,
We're kicking.
I'm working on it. We're going to get there. Don't worry. It's going to be around.
We're kicking. It's going to be like last minute shows like these.
Yeah, And like Facebook. We're on Facebook, Pro Wrestling Rushmore. You can find us on there. And our bread and butter is YouTube. It's Squared Circle History right there. But yeah, go on Instagram. That's our bread and butter. We got a lot of
Facebook was our bread and butter.
No, Facebook is not our bread and butter.
I mean, not Facebook, YouTube.
YouTube? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, YouTube's... No. We have more followers on Instagram. So Instagram's our bread and butter. YouTube is where, we can just lounge, showcase what we got. Facebook is survival of the fittest, man. The trolls of the trolls of the trolls. I was going to say are on Facebook, but I guess they're on YouTube. Anyway, with all that said, for Brian...
Later, guys. Hope everyone has a great holiday. Enjoy.
And for Sarah in quarantine, she says hello. This is Ian saying good night.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley. Yes, it is, and I want you to choose your 4 to Pro Wrestling Rushmore. And if I had to pick my Mount Rushmore of wrestling opponents, it would be The Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock, and Al Snow. Just kidding. Let's throw Triple H in there with Terry Funk trying to ease his way in. So if I wish I had 5, but if I could only pick 4, be the guys I made the most money with: Undertaker, Stone Cold, Rock, Triple H. What are your 4? Happy holidays. Have a nice day.